Any goal?
Are we live?
It is, yeah.
Okay, we'll put it back there.
Mm.
Stand behind the camera.
Yeah.
Are we live?
Yes. Says go on later.
Hello, we are the Roshan. You're very welcome to the Irish Political Roundup with me, Roshan McClerick.
And me, Paul Brophy.
And Paul, we are up here at the Garden of Remembrance on this August, very clammy day.
It is very clammy, Ocean, but there's a big crowd gathering here at the Garden of Remembrance.
Because we are up here at the Justice for Harvey march and parade, honouring another son of Ireland who has a mother and a father and family grieving for their son. We're going to, while we're up here at this event, we're going to leave roses for for the young, gallant, brave, courageous Private Sean Rooney. So we're going to leave another rose in memory of Private Sean Rooney, who was brutally murdered in South Lebanon during his overseas deployment with the Irish Defence Forces. And Paul, you're going to leave
I have a white rose here for young Harvey Morrison Garrett, who died there very, 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 very recently. Of course, Harvey was 9 years old, and he had scoliosis, and he had been waiting 7-8 years for scoliosis treatment, and unfortunately, young Harvey passed away, and his parents are holding this march here in memory of Harvey, and they want justice for their son.
And it's also not just justice for their son, but also justice for all children and living with disabilities, especially scoliosis.
Absolutely, Roisin. There's been a huge outpouring of support for Harvey and his family, and there's a nice big crowd gathering here. So the march will take place here at the Garden of Remembrance, and we're going to go all the way down to the Customs House. And as you said, we're here to leave a yellow rose and a white rose for Private Sean Rooney.
And lovely colours, green, white and gold.
Exactly.
And so, Paul, let's just go. I'll turn the camera around a little bit, and let's walk and leave the flowers where we left them the last time.
Indeed.
So we'll just leave that there, and we will go over here.
I'll follow your lead.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Two sons of Ireland.
Yeah.
So, Paul, we're going to join the rally. We're going to walk. Let's keep it live, and let's keep it where we can. We're going to even just turn the orientation around. Paul, is it what side of the camera is turning it around? So we can go around, and turn it around to the orientation of the crowd gathering here at the Gardens of Remembrance for Justice for Harvey. So you can see there from the Justice for Harvey, you can see there along the beautiful water, which is in the shape of the cross, and people gathering. So we're going to walk down now and join the crowd. Hopefully, we're going to keep this, and we're going to be very respectful and with the dignity for the family and for all children with disabilities. And as the family have requested, there will be no flags of or any paraphernalia there. And excuse the camera.
Yeah.
Or you help me down.
You are, yeah. You hold. I surely can.
Yep.
I'll take the bag too. Yep.
And to help me down.
Oh yes. And we were talking about chivalry actually before we
were talking about that, Paul. We were talking about chivalry and women and femininity. Chivalry and femininity. Coming down, but Paul. So this is people of Ireland should not have to come and march or parade or gather, especially when it is coming down to looking after our healthcare system.
Absolutely, Roisin. And Simon Harris, who was the Taoiseach and was then Minister for Health in 2017, made a promise to the to the nation that no child would be waiting more than 4 months for a scoliosis operation. And nearly 8 years on, Roisin, the actual number of operations that have taken place is actually very, very small. So
it was the promise.
yeah,
It was the broken promises what has got has united the whole country of Ireland. The broken promises of saying that they would have no child would go more than 4 months. Wasn't that?
more than 4 months
Without the scoliosis operation. And then when Minister Simon Harris said that he would go and speak and visit Harvey, and he reneged on that promise.
It never happened, Roisin. And from doing a little bit of research before we came up here today, you're just learning more about scoliosis, and God, it is a really, really difficult condition, and it the way it impacts young children in particular, it's absolutely devastating. And if it's a type of condition that it needs to be dealt with very, very early.
And there's Pater Tóibín there.
Yeah,
and my cousin was actually had scoliosis, and and here we are here, everybody wearing the t-shirts and holding placards, and we're walking through the crowd. We're walking through the crowd here, and we're walking here, and everybody with the dresses.
Yep. And yep.
One of them names, just say that's a name.
Albert the Great.
Can we get a quick interview with you when you have a second?
Will you go down here?
Yeah. Sorry.
We'll go down here. You stay down here.
Yeah. How you doing? Just follow me.
So if I could get everyone who needs to access the roads,
We're just moving out here so we can get a better view of the gravity on our here with the and Pater Tóibín is coming over. So we'll just change the orientation and we will see what happens. It's all very technical.
Yep.
And Paul, and we're around, we got the orientation this way. Deputy Pater Tóibín, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And Deputy Pater Tóibín, you've been absolutely from the forefront, very vocal for the justice for Harvey. You've also called for Minister Simon Harris, the Taoiseach, to resign. The people of Ireland are grieving for another son of Ireland.
Well, I think this is, first of all, a heartbreaking day, because at the very centre of this is a child, a 9-year-old boy who has lost his life. And that is a catastrophe for any family. At the centre of this as well, we have parents who, in the jaws of that heartbreak, are actually being incredibly courageous, incredibly brave, and they're giving leadership to us in relation to standing up for these children. I think that there's a really important context to what's happening here. Right now, there's major elements of this government that are absolutely sinking in dysfunction, and that dysfunction is costing lives. CHI is an incredible example of this. In CHI, we have children who have had implants that are unauthorized. We have children who have had operations on their hips that didn't need them. We have 233 children who are currently on waiting lists at the moment for those operations, and those children are waiting longer now than they were this time last year. We have leaked reports showing a toxicity in the management and also state funds going and missing. So what happens to that organization? They get given the job to actually transition into the new children's hospital. It seems that dysfunction in this country is rewarded with promotion in this country. Now, at the heart of this political system, we have Simon Harris, who promised that no child would wait beyond 4 months. He said it was indefensible to allow for children to wait. By his own words, he is guilty of what's happening. And what we're saying is that accountability is the remedy to dysfunction. And if we have a system whereby senior politicians and senior civil servants are held to account for the actions or inactions that they're involved in, there is a chance that we can change this country. There is a chance that we can actually deliver a health service that's necessary and save lives. But unless we do that, nothing will change. We'll wake up cursed again over and over to listen to these types of heartbreaking situations. And that's why we're calling for Simon Harris to resign. We're also saying that anybody who stands in the presidential election from the government parties has a responsibility over this. The idea that they can insulate themselves from this crisis and other crises and stand for the election is absolutely wrong. They must be held to account as well. And Aim2 will bring a motion of no confidence into the Dáil at our soonest opportunity. If the family agree, and if no other political party has done it, we will bring in a motion of no confidence to Simon Harris because we think he should go.
Do you think will Simon Harris resign, or do you think he's going to have to be forced to resign?
I think that Simon Harris doesn't have the integrity to resign. I don't think he has the integrity to resign. You know, there is a disconnect, a divorce from humanity when a political system can allow this to happen to a child and take no responsibility at all. So I think the political system is going to have to force him to resign, and that's why we're doing our best in Aim2 to put as much pressure on him to go.
You know, Ireland, we were the country of family values. We were the country of putting children first. We were the country of always minding children. Simon Harris on his political campaign was the family man with family values. Do you think he has reneged on his political campaign?
But Simon Harris says he wants to make Ireland the best country in Europe to be a child. Now, the situation where you've got 233 children waiting on waiting lists at the moment, some of these children are only leaving the waiting list not because they get the operations, because they're being timed out. They're getting to adulthood, they're turning 18, and then they're not that their condition hasn't improved, but they're just no longer on the list anymore. And we have a situation where €8 billion was squirreled away last year, and yet there isn't the capacity within the system to deal with these children. CHI has €36 million in the bank that is sitting on at the moment, and yet they're not putting in the capacity to help these children. You know, for every Harvey, Sharrett, there are dozens of other children in a similar situation. And I would say to the people listening to your podcast is, the time for inaction is over. We are all citizens of this republic. We are all responsible for the future. Get off your butts and start to get active. In the proclamation, it states that we have to cherish all the children of the nation equally. This government is not doing it. We need to hold them to account.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Children's Hospital Group, it's currently it's a separate entity to the HSE at the moment. Would you like to see that come under the umbrella of the HSE?
The CHI should not be allowed to exist. The idea that CHI is in existence is a product of the dysfunction that has worn down this country. And you know, the fact that CHI were actually given the job for the biggest hospital project in the country after all of that is just incredible. But we have a political class who believe that they are not responsible for the citizens that they govern. That has to end. Make it end. Get politically active.
And Deputy Tóibín, we'll let you go there because this might take off. But, you know, they're talking about children traveling to other countries. Children traveling with disabilities and complex needs cannot travel for these surgeries like scoliosis because you have the complex needs of pre-surgery, surgery, and then post-surgery. But traveling is just not on the table for many families.
No, and listen, Ireland is one of the wealthiest countries in the world. Like, if you look on the basis of GDP per capita, there's very few countries that actually have more than Ireland at the moment. And, you know, as I said earlier, we're squirreling away billions of euros. So, like, there's a disconnect between the level of income that this country has and its responsibility to actually protect children. And all of these operations, every time they're delayed, they actually make the situation worse. They make the health of the child worse. Children are disabled by this. There's an enormous pain involved. There's a threat to their lives. But also each operation, each therapy becomes more expensive because it's far more invasive. So, like, you know, we're talking about dysfunction here. Dysfunction is at the source of this issue. Dysfunction is costing people's lives in this country. Cervical check. How many women died as a result of dysfunction in this country? Eva Johnston, a 16-year-old girl, died for the want of an antibiotic in this country. How many others have died? How many other children are going to be left in this horrendous situation because of dysfunction? How long are we going to wait as citizens? Why are we tolerating this?
And mesh survivors as well, the mesh survivors tobacco.
Absolutely.
Everything to do with women and children seem to be a chaos and an injustice.
I agree. It is. There's no doubt in my mind that we have a political class that are ruling for themselves, and those who are not, in the particular higher echelons of those political classes are not getting the services that they need. They have a 20 or 30% of the vote, and they are responding and delivering services for 20 or 30% of the vote. But the reality is, we are one nation. We're one people, and we should all be treated equally, whether we're women, children, or anybody else.
And Deputy Tóibín as well, from hearing reports, with Harvey and other children who are in the whole with the whole scoliosis, even the basic care needs like getting their review once a year. In a lot of cases, that hasn't been happening. Is there a real lack of resources being put into this area with regards to scoliosis care in this country?
There's two things. There's a lack of resources and there's dysfunction. The dysfunction is actually costing money, but there's also a lack of resources. And resources are probably the fastest way that you can find out what are the priorities of a government. If you want to actually know what the government finds important, look at where the resources are going.
Well, we're going to let you go, Paddy Tóibín. Thank you so much. Maybe we'll catch you later on.
Thank you. Great.
Thank you very much.
so much.
Thanks,
Thank you so much indeed. And you'd like just to show the people your T-shirt, the Justice for Harvey. Deputy Paddy Tóibín, thank you so much indeed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
No bother. I better
Thank
run.
you. Thank you for taking your time.
Yep.
And we're going to continue on in following on the march down and see if we can talk to people along the way.
Yeah, it's a big crowd gathering now, Roisin. So I'll be interested to see the overall turnout, but no, big crowd to see, and a lot of people. They hear they're marching. They want justice for Harvey and all the
I
other.
think everyone wants justice for Harvey, and everybody wants justice for all children seeking medical care, and all people. With scoliosis, it's a broken promise, and that we are a country awash with money, as Deputy Ken O'Flynn said. But where is the money, and where common sense?
Exactly, and by delaying. By delaying, you're creating more problems for children's health as well. So,
well, we're going to turn this around and we're going to follow through. So, excuse our camera work. We're novices at this YouTube live, but do excuse, and we'll talk everybody through. So, this is the Garda Síochána, and I'll lift this.
It is. Roisin's going to lift this, and we're going to head down the way. So we're here, as we said, at the Garden of Remembrance, and we're walking down. The family requested no flags, but there are a lot of placards with one simple word, Roisin: justice for Harvey.
I think every politician, from county councillors to TDs, everyone is it is political, though everything is political. Children, protecting our children of our nation. And as Deputy Tóibín said, it is in the Constitution and the Proclamation.
Yes, cherish all the children of the nation equally.
You can say hi. Can your mommy allow you to say hi? Okay. Say justice for Harvey. Are you here for justice for Harvey?
Justice for Harvey.
Very good.
Even children are here. The young children of Ireland are here. Young children here marching for other children.
Oh yeah, there's a wide range of people here, and a lot of families too as well, Roisin, which is great to see.
It is, Paul. We're going to try and move up so we can get a bigger picture of all the placards and things. So it's just taking off a couple of moments ago, and let's just see all this justice for Harvey. This is ordinary women, mothers, fathers, citizens of Ireland marching for justice for Harvey.
Yeah, indeed. And if you look at the placards behind us, it says broken system, broken promises, broken trust, broken childhood, broken families.
And that is what everybody is saying. And I'm just fixing my tripod here.
Yeah.
It's a tripod. It's bigger than me, Paul.
Yeah, it is. And I suppose we're newbies too as well at this YouTube live as well. So, but look, I think it's really important to be up here as well, Roisin. And as we say here in the Irish Politcal Roundup, we're here to tell the political story, and this is a big political story without a doubt.
It is a political story. This is what is happening in Ireland. This is ordinary people coming and marching for young for children, for dignity, for honour, for respect, for children needing medical care, especially broken promises. Is this going to be a turning point for Ireland now? Where
Absolutely.
will the political elite and establishment start listening to the people they're representing? Will they start listening to the people of Ireland, to their
Exactly.
voters, to their grassroots, and listening to what people are saying? And will they start reading not just the room, but start reading the country?
Exactly. And as Deputy Tóibín said, the Children's Hospital Ireland group, that is the group that, as it stands, is going to be taking over the management of Children's Hospital when that is built. So you would, between this scoliosis issue and many others, you'd wonder, is Children's Hospital Ireland group the best group to manage a new multi-billion euro hospital when it's built, Roisin?
And that is the $6 million. I'm going to turn this around, Paul, and see if we can get in what the people behind us and get in
Yeah.
the picture of all this. The silence, Paul.
Yeah.
The silence of is deafening.
Oh, absolutely. And I must say, from the early little bits we've seen of this march, Roisin, it is very, very well organised. And when we get to the Customs House, there's going to be a number of speakers.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see who will be speaking on the platform, and what is going to be said. I'm sure that even though there might be silence here, Roisin, there's a lot of anger.
It certainly is. I'm going to turn this around now again and see if it's just
Whoa,
this. Even disabled people
Oh, yeah.
wheelchairs are indeed marching today.
Yeah.
And I'll
Yeah. Hi there. How you doing? I just wondered.
it's a march for
My friend
justice
and
for
I,
Harvey.
Roisin,
You know, the boy
we
that
are
died of
we have a
scoliosis.
podcast, the Irish Politcal Roundup, and we're doing a YouTube live. I'm just wondering, would you like to talk about why you're here to protest?
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, but we have to actually take off the hat because the families have asked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What's your own name?
Kate Mooney.
Kate.
Yeah.
Okay, Kate, we are here with, we can walk and talk.
Yeah.
So, Kate, what made you come out today and march?
Well, just the absolute abject failure of our government to look after the needs of children of this country, and that a wealthy, functional society can't look after, the health care required, and to leave children suffering and to allow them to progressively deteriorate in their health for years and years. After promise, Simon Harris promised, I think it was 2017, he promised no child would wait 4 months. Children are waiting years and years. It's just not good enough. There's no excuse for it. And we have to send a message that this can't go on. It has to stop now. And we need the healthcare that we deserve.
And there are people that are calling for Simon Harris to resign. Do you think he should?
I mean, the whole government should resign for a multitude of reasons. But yeah, absolutely. He made that promise as Minister of Health. He's been Taoiseach since. He's now Taoiseach. It's just not good enough. Not good enough. He should go.
And what do you think is the way forward? What would you hope will be achieved from this march or protest today?
Well, look, I think the more pressure and the more publicity and the more, it's just pressure. Public pressure is what makes politicians change and makes them take action. And the more you can keep the pressure on, it's people coming together, it's communities coming together, that ultimately people have the power, and people have to use their power, and they need to get out and they need to fight for things. And this is one of the most important things we have to be out fighting for.
And how did you find out about the this march or protest taking place today?
I'm friends with Bernard Mulvaney, who runs
Oh, right.
Access for All, and his daughter is a wheelchair user, so it would be a cause very close. He's friends with the family and everything, so it was just really important to be here.
And as regards children with disabilities, adults with disabilities, how do we fare in this country as regards how we treat and look after these citizens?
Oh, it's horrendous. Like I am very, very lucky that, you know, no one in my immediate family and my children are healthy. But the neglect that people with additional needs suffer, the fight that, like, the idea that your child isn't well and you're meant to, as well as look after them, you're meant to find the time and the energy to put into fighting. You have to fight for every single resource that you need. It's just so backwards. It's so non-functioning. And there's no excuse for it. We are a wealthy nation. We have money. It's about what we prioritise, and we prioritise private profit over public good, and it has to stop.
Well, they do say if you want to see what a country's like, look at the government's priorities. Well, Kate, thanks a million for taking the time to chat to us here on the Irish Political Roundup. So that was Kate Mooney, Roisin, who's one of the many people who's on the march here today for justice for Harvey.
Okay, I apologise for the camera being shaky. I was walking backwards.
Yeah.
And let's see.
Yeah.
If you come on.
Hi there. My colleague Roisin and I, we have a podcast and doing a YouTube live. Would you like to talk about why you're here at the march?
Sure.
Yeah. What's your name?
My name's Jamie.
Jamie. And we're now joined by Jamie. Jamie, you have a placard there. It says broken system, broken promises, broken trust, broken childhood, broken families. So as these have been the driving force for you coming today.
Yeah. It's honestly just one family, really. You know, that's recent events have, you know, what has made us come here, but, you know, there's a lot of families that have been struggling, suffering because of, it's honestly the system. It's the system that is leading to these problems. You know, I think we have to go root and stem. Like it's the system itself, and you can't. I suppose everyone's talking about, you know, disbanding CHI and all this kind of stuff, but alternatives, you know, we need to build something better, not just disband what we have. We got to build something new. We got to build something that, you know, people can have trust in, and gives, you know, children their childhoods back.
Yeah.
Stops breaking up the families and finally fulfilling a promise.
Yeah, they're all very, very, very much interconnected.
Yeah.
And do you think a protest like this is going to have an impact on the powers that be?
I hope so. You can never be certain. I'm sure. I honestly believe everyone, most people in the powers that be do want to see some sort of change. But I honestly think that one of the worst contributors to this would be
the system that we're in. Well, Jamie, thanks a million for taking the time to chat to us here in the Irish Political Roundup. And that was Jamie Roisin, who's one of the many people here on the march for justice for Harvey. And there was a kind of a minute's applause there, Roisin, I believe, just a second ago as well. So we're coming down O'Connell Street, and we're at the Square, Roisin.
Okay, I'm just trying to change this around.